Taylor Swift took a bite out of Apple with an open letter criticizing the company's policy for the free trial phase of its upcoming streaming service called Apple Music. Within hours of Taylor Swift's blog being posted, Apple reversed its stance and will pay musicians, further cementing Taylor Swift's growing influence in the music industry. Let's bring in Vibe News editor Iyana Robertson to talk about this. Iyana, welcome to Arise Xchange.
Thank you for having me.
First, phrase this controversy, if you will. What did Apple want to do, and what did Taylor Swift basically talk them out of it?
Well, Apple is basically galvanizing their customers with this lovely 3-month free trial. In this free trial, though, they weren't planning on paying artists their royalties for that period. If you know anything about Taylor Swift, then you know she was not having it. So she took to her blog, and she basically explained that, her new album, which is doing astronomically well, would not be available on the service.
1989?
1989. Million in first week. Really good album. And she said, I'm not going to put this on this service.
And she has been having similar fights with Spotify, for example, and other streaming music services. How did she grow so powerful on these messages?
I think she's powerful because she sells records, and it's really that simple. Along with influence in pop culture comes revenue. And losing Taylor Swift is losing a lot of money. Is
Taylor Swift speaking for herself, or she says she's speaking for the artists out there who are lesser known, who need the royalties, for example?
It's a little bit of both.
Okay.
If we're being honest, it's a little bit of both. Taylor Swift has Taylor Swift's interest at heart, but I do think she's also genuinely concerned about the future of the music industry as well.
Yeah, and basically because you're not selling CDs anymore, right? It's now all becoming streaming, which means it's becoming an a la carte type of service.
Absolutely.
And understanding the music industry, if I have it right, it's the songwriters who get the royalties off most of this music, right? It's the artists themselves, and the artists being the performers, often are doing it in the concerts.
Right. Most artists make the most of their money at appearances in concerts and shows. Writers and producers make the money off the streaming, nowadays the streaming. So in essence, it is a lot about those other producers, those behind the scenes people who make their bread and butter off of this kind of thing.
Because Taylor Swift writes her own music, I understand, but not everybody does.
Right. And I think she's genuinely concerned with other people that don't write their own music. And in that regard, it's pretty admirable.
Yeah. Do you think Apple here was overreaching? I mean, if they want to give away its service for 3 months, they've got plenty of cash in the bank to be able to do that and pay some royalties.
But they did plan on trying to weigh that out with paying a little bit more royalties after the 3-month period than some of their competitors. That was their kind of fix. Let's pay you a little more after the 3 months if we don't pay you.
Did Taylor Swift also sort of galvanize her fans in this? Do her fans get behind her when she takes these kind of stances?
Absolutely. She's one of the few big, huge artists who still talks to her fans directly online. So when she has any kind of crusade, of course, they're behind her 100%.
I'm told they're called Swifties, and I'm going to credit our producer for that. I don't know that. I am not a Swiftie. I like her music. I don't think I'm a Swiftie.
Yes, her Swifties are very loyal. Very loyal. I'm not a Swiftie. But they are very loyal.
Some have said that she is edging out Beyonce as the new queen of music. You think that's true?
See, I am a member of the Beehive. And even as a member of the Beehive, I will say she's coming for Beyonce's crown for sure, especially because one of Beyonce's biggest moves just happened last year with the surprise album. Taylor Swift's still early in the game, and she's already shutting down Apple Music.
Is Taylor Swift, I mean, she's a musician, but she's a marketing brand powerhouse. And what's interesting is she started out as a country music singer, right? And she made a conscious decision that the money really is in pop, isn't it? And she has transformed herself. She's very young. Will she be able to keep this up through the years? I mean, is she a Barbra Streisand who has had a successful career for decades?
Absolutely. Taylor Swift's going to be 75, still performing, still selling out venues for sure, because she understands the tide is changing. And she's moving with it. Yeah.
There's another service out there, Jay-Z's Tidal service. What does Apple's streaming music service mean for the other streaming music services, including Jay-Z?
Well, Jay-Z has the big task of trying to get people to care about the fact that he doesn't make enough money. Apple doesn't have to deal with that. Apple is not a person. Apple's a product. Apple's an iPhone. Apple's, they're incognito in that sense. Also, I think Apple is also offering a better product so far with what I'm seeing are the features.
Well, it's interesting. This is a little bit of a setback for Apple, but they're getting a whole lot of press about their news service. Iyana Robertson from Vibe, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by.
Sure.